afternoon, good evening. You're watching me, Nikki, you also known as Facelesstrader, here in Manila, Philippines. Thank you for subscribing to Awesome 10X channel. If this is your first time, please don't hesitate to subscribe and click the like button and the bell for all our notifications for everyday daily market videos on the world. So let's discuss globally what's happening. Topics I want to discuss. Number one, dumb money galore dominating sympathy love names. I'll discuss which sympathy love names I'm talking about. So far, we are seeing that investors do not care about the past, the present, but only the future. Now, I'd also like to discuss that it feels like a mix of 1929 and 1999. We will discuss those charts, why those years resemble 2020, IPO and cult stocks. Let's discuss what happened to Nikola Tesla, DraftKings, Zoom Info, and upcoming Bruno Mars IPO, Ed Sheeran IPO, Warner Music Group. Airlines took off wildly. Let's discuss airline stocks, bankrupt firms. Let's discuss why they went up. We're going to absurd insanity levels now. Are the Robinhood era geniuses? And discuss about verb stocks. Verb stocks such as, can you Zoom me? Can you Google this? Can you DocuSign this? Can you book a teledoc? Can I buy Coke? And of course, S&P and NASDAQ. Further on, if we have time, I'll try to discuss my class topic, which is how do we enter life-changing 100 baggers? How much downside versus upside? So our COVID outperformance, the real secular trend, what about the current leaders these days? So that we have to unpack a lot of companies. Of course, there is this Nikola. Okay, so Nikola is your, it wants to be the Tesla of trucking. He idolizes Elon Musk so much that he named his company Nikola, NKLA. You've got these Robinhood era accounts flipping 200% moves in a week. So the Robinhood shit is easy. A lot of people are seeing easy money happening. You've got millionaire hedge fund managers being short squeezed by Robinhood millennials, pajama traders with their stimulus checks. A lot of millennials really making a lot, 200%, 100%. These are your portfolio snapshots galore. Nikola went from about 10 to 38. A lot of your millennials are raking in a lot of money these days. DraftKings goes from about 12 to about 44, 355%. Hertz Global went from about less than about 70 cents to $3.50 in 2 days. Bankrupt companies rising to the moon. Save, Spirit Airlines, $7.50 to 25. This was after that Moderna vaccine. And then a lot of people are happy on the reopening. Take a look at those superb moves. These are like 300% in about 2 weeks. United Airlines went from about 21 to almost 49 after going down to 42, but that is like 100% move just in the past 3 days, 32 to 49. Superb move. So a lot of millennials thinking that they are geniuses. American Airlines goes somewhere from about 9 to about as high as 22. Just a few days ago, let's say 3 days ago, 12 to 24, 22. That's 100% move in 3 days. Marriott, your hotels going from 90 to 120. Genius, people think that they're geniuses. This went somewhere from about 50 cents to about $11. So and some sports betting names that we're taking a look at, because this is online betting, a software firm, 11 to 26, and then some profit taking. It reminds me a few things about last year when a lot of millennials, a lot of people were so hyped up on going to Mars and tourism to the moon. Virgin Galactic, they pushed it up from about $7.50 to $42. A month after, we're going down to $10, and then now it's about 15. Zoom Info. Now, this is not related to Zoom video. This got listed just last week, and then it's 100% above its IPO price. Your IPO is $21. We're talking about a lot of names that some people are not even aware of, rising 100%. It got me into reading even parody accounts. This is a diary of a perma bear. He says, "Dear diary, this market is exactly like 1999. Retail investors are getting rich on penny stocks, dumb asses literally bidding up companies that have filed for bankruptcy by 300%. If the market does not crash in the next 6 months, I may have to file for bankruptcy again." Morgan Housel, a really strong guy to follow if you aren't following him on your Twitter. Morgan Housel said, "You did not see the 35% decline. You didn't see the 40% rally, but thank you for sharing your insight about where we're going next." We have a lot of people. The bears are shouting wildly right now about how insane the prices are. 2020 is a weird and ugly mix of 1918, 1932, 1967, and 1999. Those who don't know, 1999 was a cocktail mix of your NASDAQ bubble. Top 10 stocks added by Robinhood users. For those who don't know, Robinhood is a millennial brokerage firm allowing people to trade for free, especially for USA. So like for March and April, we saw Robinhood users account surge 800,000 new accounts. And they are sharing what these accounts are buying. You could see that as of June 2, these guys were buying DraftKings, Spirit Airlines, MGM Resorts, Genius Brands, Disney, Tesla, Hertz, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, Carnival Cruise. They're essentially buying your reopening name stocks. When Disney said that they're going to open their theme parks, who's the biggest buyer? Disney. When the airlines were reporting that the tourism data was starting to bottom out and recover, who were the biggest buyers? Your millennials. So definitely, we are in the era that indeed Robinhood era traders are making millions in trading. In fact, I shared on my own Twitter page at Facelesstrader. I said, the Robinhood era traders are now making millions in trading. And so the question is, are you sure that these are newbie? Do you look like effing wizards? The airlines, the Jets ETF is up 65% since Buffett sold them a month ago. So who is the smart money? Right now, the smart money is anyone who's buying the weakest names, the most shorted names. The reason why the Robinhood era traders are making a lot of money is it is a cocktail mix of them buying casinos on the reopening and really ripping up all the shorts. I'll show you how strong the casino moves have been. Penn National Gaming. Let's see. So Penn National Gaming went from $360 to $38, 10x move. It's a cocktail mix of, number one, it fell down because of the fact that a lot of casinos were closed. However, Penn National Gaming has a lot of right now, all the states in US have been legalizing sports betting, and Penn National Gaming, of course, has Barstool Sports. So that is a way for them to be. So it's not, so right now, gaming casinos are not just land-based, just as how brick and mortar retailers adopted the Shopify method, adopted the Amazon method of going online gambling. So that really helped. Right now, that's the reason why a lot of Robinhood era traders are making a lot of money in DraftKings. Now, you could argue that sports aren't open, but they are selling on the fact that right now, since NBA is open, take note, they are now profit taking from 44 to 39. Now, airlines, good news. It's typical. If you are an investor or trader, you know that you have to buy on bad news and you sell on good news. And that's typical. Those who were so worried that airlines would be bankrupt, well, they are wrong. These guys were buying at 9 and 10, buying from Buffett. Now they're selling at $20, selling at 18 and 20. We're not saying that airlines will go all the way to $30, but definitely the Robinhood era traders really made money, and it makes sense why they made money in the first place. Those who were shorting really deserve their losses, right? So far, people are also, let's discuss a few things. Let's talk about your overextended e-commerce names. So we talk about the COVID-proof business models. The Moses names, Melly, Ocado, Shopee. Shopee through C Limited, Etsy, Shopify, and your Chinese e-commerce names, JD, Alibaba, and TDD. Let's take a look on some charts on how your winners are moving against your losers. So far, your e-commerce winners are overextended. Shopify went 834 from about 320. It's correcting, but as we said, these are secular winners. So the difference is that your secular winners are good for your 10, 20-year horizon, whereas, airlines are good for just 3 days or 10 days. From a secular standpoint, of course, American Airlines will not go to 56. But the fact that there are people who are short squeezed, you could see that these bad names really had a strong run up. And I think it's good that Robinhood era traders really outperformed against your Warren Buffett in this era because he made a wrong call. And that's really what trading is. It's about predicting how fast the recovery is. And if we could recover in the next 6 to 9 months, whether this is right or wrong, well, the money has been made. That's the point. You trade what you see, not what you think. And so I'd say congratulations. Similarly, of course, Luckin Coffee. Take note at this. A lot of traders, millennials, Robinhood era traders, we were buying here at about $2. Luckin Coffee surged all the way to about $6 this week. Now it's really a matter of scaling out. Personally, I got in here at these arrows, 2 to 220. Sold some at 3, sold some at 550. Whether it goes to 650 or whether it goes down to 4, that's still profit taking and locking in gains. So it's really a matter of risk reward ratios at this point in time. And we are honestly, even if the loud screams of the bears are suffering, it doesn't mean that the bears are right and the bulls are wrong. You really have to check on the tape. And so far, we could see that the pain trade of the shorts are really getting murdered right now. And we haven't seen a reason for the pain trade to stop. We haven't seen it. There is this profit taking, but it doesn't mean that Luckin Coffee would not get bought out here at 3. If there is a pullback, some people might continue to purchase that. Okay, so example. Okay, let's talk about Disney. Disney's theme parks, right? They are reopening. Ever since that reopening, Disney went from 105 to 115. That was a 9% move and continued higher, 124. So you could see that the reason why Disney wasn't rallying as fiercely as the airlines is really a function of short covering. Not a lot of people are shorting Disney versus, say, United Airlines or American Airlines. So really, Delta Airlines, all of these names got shorted, and that was really your typical short squeeze. Delta Airlines goes from about 20 to 40. That's a 100% move. I am saying that the fact that your cult names are rising pretty strongly should be a warning for some people that we are truly in an insanity era. But just because we are in insane eras like 1999 doesn't mean that you are supposed to short. No, shorts are actually getting killed. In fact, what you should be doing is, so let's discuss the verb stocks. Verb stocks such as Zoom, Teledoc, Google, DocuSign, all of those names. Zoom Video, of course, had stellar earnings. We still believe that the reward is the least resistance is on the upside, not on the downside. Any drops of Zoom Video will get bought out here. Last week, it got bought at 198. Any trade on the downside to 182 would continue to be bought all the way here to 135. As some millennials rotate their wins from strong moves on airlines, everyone would continue to want to buy Shopify, but better off entry risk reward here at 592 to 627. This drop is a godsend if we could get that 30% drop for Shopify. I've been taking a look on your verb names, right? So DocuSign, 150, 120. How much drop could it go for your entry points on great names? You have to check like their previous corrections. So these corrections are like 27%. bigger correction when it's really new. So it used to be about 47%, 50% drop. So notwithstanding, DocuSign could go 50% drop. As you could see, 150 can go here to about $100. But I would like to enter verb names on a dip. Really, right now, I think this is the most important part for me to share. Let me read to you that just because casinos and all of those really bankrupt names are rising doesn't mean that you have to be bearish. So let me read this to you. Sentiment Trader shared that at the peak of speculative fervor in February, small traders bought to open 7.5 million call contracts. This week, which was last week, they bought 12.1 million, which means that a lot of people are so bullish on this reopening. And my stance here is that if 90% of people are dumb money, and if dumb money are making money and that we are on steroids, we are all delusional. All this means is that we can go higher, but we have to be very cautious and we have to be scaling out as it goes higher. Also, when your bearish friend will rejoice anytime next week or next week over a 5 to 10% drop versus a 50 to 100% rally, the warning that the market is toppish is nonsense because they never invested when it was low. So who cares about what they think, right? Scaling out is really to recognize that nobody can predict how high. Like right now, you could see that 200% moves in 3 days are not typical. These are generous returns, and it is good for the Robinhood traders who are making a lot of money now to be taking profits and deploying it to cash for better entry points, not on these weak names, but on good names. So I'd say that really kudos to the ones like you've seen Robinhood traders, they've sold. Good for them. Take a look. They sold 11 all the way to 6, but their costs were probably here at about 1. So really, we're seeing that it takes good cash and courage when you were buying your airlines at about 2021 for Delta Airlines. Now it's time to cash out. Take your profits and lock those gains before they disappear. We've seen it happen. We've seen Space Virgin Galactic go from 7 to 42, now back to about 7 or 15. You don't want your profits to really become nothing and disappear. So while the taking is good, encourage to really take profits and not regretting if it continues higher. Nasdaq 100 here at your possible double tops. S&P rallies less than 10% from its previous highs of 3-4. Take profits while you can. So globally, the risk reward ratios are better off when it's kind of like poker. So you don't want to be betting aggressively right now. You have to be taking some profits out, taking those chips out, and learn to stay on the side when you see this insanity comes in. Um, Insanity coming in means that your positions, which were purchased very low, should be sold upward, maybe 50% higher, 100% higher. And be happy. And the market is very generous to you, to all of us right now. But it is really a cognizance that number one, the market, the great success that we have is a result of a little more talent, but a lot of luck as well. So recognize that luck plays a major role in our profits today. Thank you very much. Hope you watch it again. And see you again next few days. Talk about life-changing 100 baggers and their corrections. I'll discuss that in class. For those who want to attend our class, go to awesome10x.com. We do daily Zoom classes for a deeper dive on topics and these daily free videos for anyone who just wants chart updates. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.